the terms are already agreed for the rematch with, you know, to move forward. And it's the same as the first contract in that respect. So I think we got it spot on with the numbers.
We always knew Chris is a good fighter. You know, all the fighting talk is fighting talk. He's a good fighter. I believe I can fight at 160. You know, if we don't do the rematch, which I'd love to avenge that loss, go back down to welterweight and win the WBC world title.
Conor Chris delivered. You know, I say this before. I was like, whoever loses this fight is gonna tarnish the dad's name. Nah.
Conor Benn's recent demand for a rematch against Chris Eubank Jr. on live television has sent shockwaves through the boxing world. Following a controversial loss in their highly anticipated bout, Benn's impassioned call for a return fight has reignited the fierce rivalry between the two British fighters. This article delves into the events leading up to the fight, the controversy surrounding the outcome, and the implications of Benn's demand for a rematch. If you liked this video, please subscribe, punch Vista, and click the bell icon for more latest and interesting videos.
TV powered by Undisputed. Jonathan, we spoke before the fight and you were confident in your man Chris Eubank Jr. here. Tonight he gets the job done. Talk us through how you're feeling.
I feel pretty good. I mean, I thought he fought again. I'm the type of guy, I pay homage to both fighters. I thought they both put their hearts on the line. Yeah. I thought they both gave everything they had. And if they could have gave more to the crowd, they would have gave more. Yeah. The only, I think the biggest winner was Great Britain. It's just my opinion. You got two native people put on a massive performance just for the hometown. Yeah. Like, you don't get that all the time. That's a rare commodity that you can have.
The rivalry between Conor Benn and Chris Eubank. JR dates back decades, with both fighters hailing from boxing dynasties. Their fathers, Nigel Benn and Chris Eubank Sr., were legendary figures in the sport. Known for their fierce battles in the 1990s, the prospect of their sons facing off in the ring generated immense public interest and anticipation.
And let me ask you, Nigel, I mean, it's clear that you guys are very, very close.
Yeah.
The reports are that Chris Eubank Sr. isn't quite currently as close with his son as you guys are. How does that make you feel, and why is it important?
Well, I would like to stop you there first of all. You know, Chris, you know what, he's your son, mate, you know. Come be there, mate. This is a family affair, mate. We need you there, mate. You know, we can just catch up on old times, so it'd be good to see you there, mate. Coming back here, son.
The fight was scheduled to take place in a catchweight bout, with both fighters agreeing to meet at a weight limit that would challenge their usual fighting classes. This added an extra layer of intrigue, as both Benn and Eubank Jr. would need to adjust their training and strategies to accommodate the weight constraints.
I looked at Chris Sr. and I said to him, grabbed him by the neck and I said, mate, I'm so happy you're here. I'm so happy you turn up. You know, because outside of everything else, outside of all the noise and the promotion and the fight, your relationship with your dad never goes. That's always there. That's long standing. That's without boxing. You know, what's boxing? You know, what is it? You know, because I'd pick the relationship with my dad over boxing any day of the week. You know, so to see them two, if this has brought them together, God, that's worth its weight in gold.
That's right.
That's worth its weight in gold.
When the fight finally took place, it did not go as many had expected. The bout was marked by contentious moments, including disputed scoring, questionable officiating, and a series of exchanges that left fans and analysts divided. While some believed that Eubank Jr. had done enough to secure a victory,
we have a result in the fight of the night at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. The middleweight contest between these two British middleweights.
112, the winner by unanimous decision, Chris Eubank!
Make it up there, you feel it good. You know what to do, John.
Yeah, I mean, it's a hard one to swallow, man. Yeah. it's a hard one to swallow. I mean, obviously, I didn't come into the fight thinking it would be that close. I didn't come into the fight to lose. I didn't come in the fight for anything apart from winning. And obviously it weren't good enough. So I need to do.
Others felt that Benn had been unfairly judged. Commentators described the match between Chris Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn as extremely entertaining, competitive, and fun, meaning that the fight kept viewers engaged with its action-packed and dynamic nature. Both fighters showcase skill and determination, making the contest exciting to watch. However, the commentary also notes that it wasn't an easy fight for Eubank, despite his eventual victory.
He can walk out there, Conor can walk out there head up high, you know, go home to his family safe and sound. The way he boxed and the way Chris boxed was unbelievable. You know, we were just like, we enjoyed the fight. Do you understand? We enjoyed the fight.
I said it myself just on broadcast just now. Conor made the fight by keeping on coming, Chris gave everything. Chris Senior turned up on the night. It had everything, didn't it?
Lastminute.com. We call him lastminute.com. He turned up. But all I want to say is, oh my goodness, that was beautiful, man. We enjoyed it. Listen, I was shaking. Not because it was cold here, because the fight was just beautiful. I enjoyed it, and now I'm happy to see a rematch.
Great to see you, Derek. Thank you so much. We're all happy to see a rematch. Whether they can go through another one like that.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Eubank Sr. was present at the highly anticipated fight between his son. Chris Eubank and Conor Benn on April 26, 2025, at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in London. This marked a significant and emotional moment in British boxing, as Eubank Sr. had previously been outspoken in his criticism of the bout, and had even threatened to pull his son from the event due to concerns over the weight limit and safety.
That is really good news. Okay, let's get to the fight itself. I think I just about caught my breath after last night, Michael. I don't know about you, but I mean, first of all, let's start with the Eubank reunion and the fact that Senior walked out with his son Junior to the ring. How real was that, I suppose, animosity between the two in the build-up, and how much did it help him that his dad was there?
Well, Jess, I really do believe it helped him, and it was the best atmosphere in boxing I think I've been to, and there was a lot of emotion around me. I actually felt I had a bit of a lump in my throat. I've got to be completely honest with you, because we know it's been a tough few years for the Eubank family. Senior losing a son, and Chris Eubank Jr. talking about the pain, a real pain is losing family members. And it was a bit like WWE when the lift opened and you see Chris Eubank Sr.
Despite his earlier objections, Eubank Sr. made a surprise appearance midway through the undercard, arriving at the stadium to support his son. His presence electrified the 65-hour strong crowd, with fans chanting and expressing their excitement. Nigel Benn, father of Conor Benn, was also present and welcomed Eubank Senior's attendance, viewing it as a positive development for the families involved.
Chris Eubank's here as well. Sir, you turned up to support your son. What a night.
Well, you know, I was always going to be here for my son, irrespective of what you thought. I mean, it's a show. So suspense is part of the game. Now, the performance, championship rounds, standing toe-to-toe, the credit I'm going to give to Conor. I told you he was a superior fighter, but he shouldn't be fighting at 160 or 156. He's a 147 fighter. What couldn't he do around the world? He's been destroyed by the people who are handling him, and they have to be brought to account. Do your job. Do your job. Do your job.
It's great to see you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming.
Eubank Jr. has consistently expressed a deep desire for his father, Chris Eubanks. Toby, present during his fights, valuing his father's experience and guidance in threatening Eubank Jr., sees his father not only as a parent, but also as a mentor and vital source of strength and advice. Despite their strained relationship in recent years, Eubank Jr. has openly stated that he would like his father to be involved in his career, especially for significant bouts. He has acknowledged the challenges in their relationship, but continues to hope for reconciliation, emphasizing the importance of family support in his professional journey.
If he's watching this, what would you say to him?
I'm here. I'm getting ready for the biggest fight of my life. If you want to be next to me, like his father next to him, we can do it together. If not, no hard feelings. I'll get the job done for you, don't worry about it.
Do you love him, your dad?
He's my old man. It doesn't matter if I don't talk to him until the day I die, I'm always gonna love him. He taught me everything.
Ben delivered a powerful punch that reportedly broke Eubank Jr.'s jaw. The fight, held at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in London, was a culmination of a long-standing family rivalry and lived up to its billing as a British boxing classic.
Let's get more reaction, shall we? And cross live to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, where our reporter Michael Bridge is there for us. Good morning to you, Michael. You had an entertaining evening, I bet. But before we get to the boxing, let's just get an update on Chris Eubank Jr. after he was sent to hospital after the fight.
Yeah, very good morning. Yes, I mean, what a fight, what a scrap. We said all week we expected it to be a scrap. Conor Benn said he wanted that to happen, the 18-foot ring. And what a fight. It was absolutely phenomenal evening. Chris Eubank Jr. didn't attend the post-fight press conference. He was sent to hospital. But our understanding is they were precautionary tests, no serious issues, which is great news. I know Conor Benn did mention in his post-fight press conference that he thought he broke Eubank Jr.'s jaw. We don't think that's the case. And we do believe it's just a precaution, which is very good news.
That is really good news. Okay, let's get to the fight itself. I think I just about caught my breath after last night, Michael. I don't know about you, but I mean, first of all, let's start with the Eubank reunion and the fact that Senior walked out with his son Junior to the ring. How real was that, I suppose, animosity between the two in the build-up, and how much did it help him that his dad was there?
Well, Jess, I really do believe it helped him. And it was the best atmosphere in boxing I think I've been to. And there was a lot of emotion around me. I actually felt I had a bit of a lump in my throat. I've got to be completely honest with you, because we know it's been a tough few years for the Eubank family. Senior losing a son, and Chris Eubank Jr. talking about the pain, a real pain. Is losing family members. And it was a bit like WWE.
Despite Ben's aggressive to start, Eubank Jr. showcased his experience and resilience, ultimately securing an unanimous decision victory with all three judges, scoring the bout 11-61-112 in his favor. However, the fight took a concerning turn when Eubank Jr. was taken to the hospital immediately afterward due to a suspected broken jaw, as confirmed by his promoters.
I wish him well. I know he's gone to the hospital. I've heard he's got a broken jaw. So I wish him a speedy recovery. I also want to thank Senior for turning up, because this really is a family affair, and it wouldn't have been what it was without Senior there. Like, there's respect. Obviously, we've gone 12 rounds together, but he's Chris, isn't he? Like his dad. So I like him as much as I possibly can.
Cheers, Conor.
Given the situation.
Eddie Hearn, the promoter for Conor Benn, had a notably emotional reaction following the intense bout between Benn and Chris Eubank. As the mastermind behind the fight's promotion, Hearn had invested significant time and energy into bringing this high-profile match to fruition, making its outcome particularly poignant for him.
Emotional, that?
Yeah, I'm just so proud of him, honestly. It's probably the first time that I can't even be bothered to give my opinion on the scorecards, because I'm just blown away by what Conor Benn did tonight. Respect to Eubank. I mean, he was incredibly tough as well, but I just can't believe the heart and guts. I've never seen a fighter dig in that situation with the size of that challenge, literally, and just never stop trying to win. Like, even in the 11th and 12th round when he had nothing else.
Throughout the contest, both fighters demonstrated remarkable heart and determination, which did not go unnoticed by Hearn. He expressed deep admiration for their resilience and the level of competition they brought to the ring. However, it was the personal stakes involved that seemed to resonate most with him.
When he had nothing else in the tank, he just never stopped trying. And, for all the shit that he's been through, and I want you to know that this kid, is a great kid. He's an honest kid. And again, I won't go into the past, but to see now the response of basically him becoming the people's champion, and a lot of people thought he won. Some thought it was a draw. I guess maybe, I don't know if the majority of people thought that Eubank edged it, whatever. Honestly, after what I've seen in there tonight, could not be prouder of that kid. We live for fights like that. And the British public loved his dad because he was just full of heart and full of spirit and a never say die attitude.
The weight dynamics between Chris Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn were a significant factor in their April 26, 2025 bout at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Eubank Jr., a natural middleweight and former super middleweight, typically competes at 160 to 168 li. In contrast, Benn, a career welterweight, usually fights at 147 lb. For this match, Benn moved up 2 weight classes to face Eubank Jr. At the middleweight limit of 160 lb off the official weigh-in, Benn comfortably made weight at 156.4 lb. Eubank Jr.
Oh, mate, that'd be legendary. That'd be legendary. I'd love that.
We know that your dad has had 2 very, very famous fights in the 90s with Chris Sr. You're, 3 or 4 weight divisions away from Chris Eubank Jr. at the moment, but you are 19 and you will continue to grow and you will continue to put weight on. What chance of you fighting Chris Eubank Jr. at some point in the future?
Oh, mate, that'd be legendary. That'd be legendary. I'd love that. You could, but there's so many obstacles I got to get first before we can even consider that.
Yeah.
So far, it's just a fantasy for the British public. But who knows? Who knows what the future holds?
Or 8 pounds? You better watch out, dreadlocks. You better watch out, because we are come for you. Oh, sorry. It's my mother's tongue again. It comes through. You'd better watch out, because we're not playing. We're real, and we are a terror. And the procedure will be parliamentary. Rastafari.
However, initially weighed in at 160.2 lb, exceeding the limit by 0.2 lb. After a second attempt, the registered at 160.505 lb, still overbe half an ounce. As a result, Eubank Jr. was fined $375,000, which was awarded to Benn. Both fighters also had towed here to a rehydration clause limiting their weight gain before the fight.
Fight is set at 160 pounds, but neither man can be 170 on fight night. Who's at a disadvantage here? Chris Eubank not being as heavy as he usually is, or Conor Benn coming up 2 weight classes?
Oh, wow. Muy leve. Muy ugly right now.
Okay. Time to jump in the sauna. Now the fun begins.
On fight day, Eubank Jr. weighed in at 169.44 lb, while Benn was at 165 lb, keeping within the agreed 170 lb limit. Despite the weight disparity, Benn delivered a commendable performance against the larger Eubank Jr. However, Eubank Jr.'s size and experience ultimately led him to a unanimous decision victory with all judges scoring the bout 116-112. In the lead-up to the fight, Nigel Benn had expressed immense pride in his son's dedication and fighting spirit. He believed that Conor was on a mission to not just defeat but destroy Eubank, fueled by the intense personal and familial.
Listen, Chris Eubank Jr. versus Conor Benn was absolutely phenomenal. From start to finish, absolutely phenomenal. The storyline, the drama, the fathers, Senior pulling up at the last minute, the crowd roaring. This is the peak of boxing. This is the peak of sports in general. First of all, hats off to Conor Benn. You cannot show me a tougher fighter. That man moved up weight classes and was taking everything and shaking it off. He was hurt, still swinging. Chris Eubank Jr., great performance. He didn't just box. He didn't just try to, come on, man. He didn't just try to win on the score. He tried to take his head off and he couldn't do it because that dude was that tough. Phenomenal. America, we got to learn something, right? British boxing at its best. This is legendary, instant classic. I would pay triple to see that rematch. That was phenomenal, man. Amazing.
Stakes involved Nigel's confidence in Conor's abilities was evident as he highlighted the rigorous training and preparations underwent for this high-profile encounter. Do you think the weight disparity significantly influenced the fight's outcome? Share your opinions in the comments below and join the discussion on this historic matchup.